Jaaz, welcome.
Thank you for
Welcome.
having me, brother.
Yes, of course. Welcome everybody to the fourth episode of Como en Realidad es. We are continuing these interviews in English, and today we are gonna interview a wonderful, wonderful person. Um, he is he's incredible. First of all, I met him a year and a half ago, and he is the face owner of a room company called Symphony Number Three. I'm very excited, very happy for today because I work very close with him, and he has a lot of experience. His brand is it's awesome. It's not in the startup anymore.
It's still in the startup.
It's
It's still
still in the startup
startup. Yeah,
process, but in terms of like the places that you're able to find symphony is just amazing. Like
I
the
appreciate it.
development.
I appreciate it.
As everybody know, the way that we do always, I just would like you to give us a quick go through who you are, where's your name, what are we representing today. No,
For sure. First and foremost, thank you for even thinking about me. Thank you for thinking about the brand. Um, and yeah, I'm super excited to do this with you. My name is Jaaz.
thank you.
My brand is called Symphony. So jazz, like symphony, music. We started this process 5 years ago. We're operational now 2.5 years, and we're distributed in New York, New Jersey, Florida, California, Connecticut, and Puerto Rico. So we're building from just me and my partners thinking about this, and a lot of the people that are associated with my brand are my family. I don't even call them my friends; they're my close family. And we started this in the pandemic, and it's been an amazing ride.
What a journey.
It's been a journey, and I'm super blessed to be where I'm at today. And here we are. We're overlooking Madison Square Garden at one of my biggest accounts in New York, and um, I'm super blessed to be in this position. But there's so much growth to go from here.
Of course, definitely. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this interview with you, it was because people they don't understand how is actually the process of alcohol. Like
Yeah,
people they take it too for granted in terms like, oh, I'm gonna go to a bar, I'm gonna go to a store, and I'm gonna buy a bottle or whatever.
yeah,
They don't actually go and think like, oh, what does the actually brand or what does the actually people that work there do? So it's very intriguing for me because I know a little, but you coming from a brand that is started here in New York.
yeah,
I wanted to go super deep into that because New York is the capital of everything.
yeah,
And you were starting, as you said, in the pandemic
yeah,
with a friends. Like, how was the beginning? Like, how did you?
yeah,
Where did you come from? Like, why did you start with the idea of selling rum? What
yeah.
were you thinking? It was like with those drunk ideas, or
No, no, no. So I've been in the liquor industry, hospitality industry, 17 years. It's crazy how time flies.
crazy.
17. And I started off as a bar back and worked my way up, just like anybody else. Loved working behind the bar. I was a bartender. Was a head bartender for a little bit, purchasing manager for um, Soho House, which is a private members club in meatpacking.
Hmm.
Did that for 5 years, and then I worked for as a rep for Southern Wine and Spirits, both with with wine and liquor. And I fell in love, and I fell in love with the passion. I fell in love with storytelling. I fell in love with the process. Um, I did that for another 5 years before looking at working to only go into wine. I worked in a winery and based out of Napa, and one day the Bacardi family called me,
Holy
and
crap!
it was one of the sons of the Bacardi family, and he was like, "Come to Puerto Rico," and I went to Puerto Rico, and it changed my life. And my dad is from Ponce, Puerto Rico, so it's just like me coming back home, and I love the idea of rum. I love the opportunities that rum kind of do in the category, and I fell in love, and I thought maybe I could do this on my own on a much smaller scale. And I called up, I want to say 6 or 7 of my friends. I probably called up much more, but 6 or 7 said yes to my dream. And
So you were the one who started with the dream. Like
yeah,
you
I
were
was
the
the
one
one.
that I want a rom com.
Yeah, I was the one that started the idea. Um, and then my business partner at the time wanted to do a tequila, and it just didn't work out for tequila. We tried it. We tried the idea of it, and rum kind of fit, and so we really gravitated towards rum, and here I am since inception, since 5 years ago to now. We've created everything from the bottle to the design, to the flavor profiles, and we have a new flavor profile hopefully coming by the end of the year. So
I'm excited for that.
thank you so much. So it's super exciting. But don't get me wrong, starting a brand in the pandemic was hard. It was very tough. I mean, New York and a lot of the world was really closed. And
It was a stop. Everything
yeah,
was stopped.
we started, and I think the pandemic happened 2-3 weeks later, and it was a big shock. But one thing about everybody in Symphony, and when I say my family, is that you know we looked at it as an opportunity rather than it being a problem,
Of
and
course.
we just looked at it like, okay, we have to focus on e-commerce and Drizzly and all those brands that were big on shopping online. So
There
and it
was
made
no
us
other
better.
choice.
There was
There
no
was no
other
other
choice.
choice.
Exactly.
You
So,
cannot on the pandemic. You couldn't afford to
exactly.
meet with people.
You couldn't.
It was. I'll say that the people who started their business throughout the pandemic, it was just a way to actually look as I'll say this as a general profession, but digital marketing.
Yeah,
It was
digital
a boom
marketing was
of
big
digital
for
marketing.
sure, for sure. E-commerce was huge, and we just had to shift gears, and here we are now. So I'm super blessed to be in every account that Symphony is, and to be in the states that we're available. But just like anything, you said we're not a startup. I feel like we're gonna be a startup for some time because it takes a lot to really birth a brand and to always give it life. And I'm always up and about, whether I have to go somewhere the next day and try to build a brand like that. And that's how I am. I want as many people to know about Symphony as possible.
It's to be honest, I come from Ecuador. Of
Yeah,
course, in
yeah,
Ecuador we do drink a lot of rum,
you do. Yeah,
and I mean the quality of the alcohol of Symphony, the white, you have two right now. It's
yes,
a white and the H,
yes,
and I'll say that the H is, for my opinion, I love
yeah.
it. It's
No,
my
thank you
favorite
so
rum.
much. Thank you.
Just drinking on the rocks is just like drinking whiskey. It's like a
Yeah,
very classy, subtle. The
yeah.
taste is just fantastic. You're gonna see pictures of the actual bottles right here.
Oh, thank
All
you.
the edits, of
Thank
course.
you so much.
But the quality that you have there, it's very nice.
Thank
And
you.
I know, and I want you to talk to us a little bit more about the awards, because I know that recently, maybe like a couple of months, it was
Yeah.
that you went to a competition and you won like many awards.
Yeah,
For
so we
rum.
won San Francisco World Spirit Awards. We won gold, which is a huge accomplishment for a young brand, and Reserve Bar, which is a big e-commerce site. We won another award for the brand, and people are taking notice, which is a great honor. And so yeah, so we won awards for that. But just like anything, awards are cool, but I want more people to know about the brand and
It's a building process, though.
exactly.
Yeah.
It brings more eyes for sure, but I'm big on there's this term in the industry, we go mouth to lips, and I'm big on as many people that taste the brand and they know about it. That's my exposure right there. That's how I bring life into Symphony. So
I am wondering so much about the building process
yeah,
from how from the idea that you just said that you were the one who started, right?
yeah.
But how, so where did you go in terms of like choosing the bottle, or did you who were those people that you surrounded yourself who helped you to go through actually like coming up with the first bottle?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it brings my heart happy, like to hear you say these things, because it was a huge process. I have to give the other partners, the other people in the Symphony family, all the credit, because they were the people that really guided me towards this. One thing about rum is always like a tiny long bottle or
Mhm.
something like that. We wanted to be something different, kind of like a high end whiskey, kind of like something like that. So our bottle differs from anything in the rum category.
Yeah,
Um,
completely.
but but also like our top is more like a cork, something little things like that. Our bottles coming from Germany. I can get really geeky with this
I
stuff,
love
but
it, and
yeah,
please do
yeah,
so, because that's what I'm saying. People, they don't know this.
yeah,
They actually they don't think it throughly. Actually, what is the thing? Where's the idea?
Yeah.
How's the process of choosing one bottle? Because they think that it's so familiar for them, but
Yeah.
there's actually a whole art in it behind. It's just that's why I'm so curious. I'll tell you.
Yeah, no, no, no. To be honest, it was a lot of long nights, overthinking and nightmares. And should I do it like this? And then we pivot. But I think all of us as a collective, I'm big on family, big on all of us came to this agreement, and I love the product. I love that we birthed it the way that we did, and the bottle came out fantastic. I mean,
It is really nice.
it was something that's totally unique in the category. Yeah,
It's like chubby, but
Yeah.
yet like thin on the top. And
great
that's
for
why
bartenders.
that's what I was
Yeah,
I was
great for
thinking.
bartenders.
Because working with it, there's a lot of bottles that are very complicated, and whenever you're in a rush and you're trying to serve like that one, it's easy to grab.
Yeah, so
No,
when
no,
I was a
it's
bartender, I know exactly. You don't want to get a tall bottle all the time, and it doesn't fit in the speed
the Grey
rail.
Goose or
Yeah.
the Cattle one. They're
Yeah.
like too long, and then whenever
Yeah.
you're like trying to,
Yeah.
it gets heavy and everything.
So for me, I wanted to do something that was really efficient, especially like for a cocktail menu and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, we thought about this thoroughly. We slept on it. It was like a good 5-6 month process of going back and
Wow.
forth and back and forth, and then getting the government to approve it. There's this corporation called the TTB, which is the government, and they have to approve everything that you do for the label down to the juice, down to just your measurements and everything, down to on our bottle we have aged rum, and we cut off aged rum to be something super unique. And they had to basically sign off on that. So it's a lot of little things that people don't really notice, like what you're saying, that go into the process of just building. So for sure.
Yeah, I truly didn't know that you had to go to that thoroughly process. But I guess if you're selling alcohol, there's a
Yeah.
lot of chemical
For sure.
things involved.
For sure.
If you don't pass those requirements,
For sure.
it's gonna take you years until you get.
Oh my
approval
gosh,
again.
it takes forever. And like I'm gonna play. There's this phrase called Monday morning quarterback, and it's today's Monday. But like going back into this process, I wouldn't have changed anything. All this brought me to where I am today, and if we didn't, if we weren't stern in the beginning as to how we're gonna, make this brand perceived and taken as a real. Um, a real big strategic player in the rum category, we would never have the opportunities that we have today. We just signed with Total Wine, which is a huge um, realtor in the off premise, which is like your Walgreens or Rite Aid or something. Total Wine is the biggest liquor store in the U.S., and we're in
Wow.
64 locations. So it's such a blessing to be there. Yeah,
Of course, to find yourself into the opportunity and see how your baby is growing. But
I know.
basically, it's a baby that you're holding into your hands and you're carrying into the world.
I know.
You're like bringing because as I said before, people they take for granted alcohol, but when you have your own idea, when you're trying to present your own stuff, like you want people to know that actually it can be, like it's different. It's different from what you regularly drink. You're trying to bring class, you're trying to bring elegance into the brand, and Symphony is a very funny and very picky name. Like
Yeah.
it's something that it gets you into your mind super. It gets sick, because
And
of music.
Yeah, and I didn't actually name the company. My business partner did, and he thought it would be really cool because it's a group of us, and we're all family, and we're coming together to produce the best rum that we feel, and just so it's so synonymous, I guess, with my name, Jaaz,
Jazz.
a symphony, and number three, which is the three guys that started it. Um, but there's much more people, of course. I'm
Of
big
course,
on
of
family that came together, and it's super blessed, so humbling, and so I'm so super blessed to like one of my business partner, John Diaz. He said, "Jazz, we're in 218 locations. Like it's so crazy to hear these numbers,
Wow.
and the sky's the limit." So yeah,
It's just about doing it, right?
yeah.
If you can say like who is the person or who is the brand that is inspiring you to keep going further.
Yeah, so I don't look at other liquor companies to inspire me. I like fashion, I like art, and so I look at artists or fashion designers or stuff like that that really they innovate all the time. They're not complacent. They're always ever changing. They don't do the same thing twice. And I find myself to really gravitate towards like artists
Okay.
that want to always do something new, something fresh. I love fresh ideas, um, and so yeah, I would say like fashion houses really those guys really inspire me.
That's amazing. That's crazy to think that just an idea. I mean, it's just about being constant.
Yeah,
There's something that we were talking so much in the podcast before, but it's just about how seriously you take your dreams
for sure.
and how actually you want to pursue them and you want to actually build something from it.
I mean, just to be honest, I'm born and raised from New York, and I would never ever ever dream that I would have had a rum company. I never would have dreamed of it, and to for me to even see a bottle in a place, my heart skips. It's always every time I come into a place, I look to see if my bottle's there, and it's one of the best feelings that I can ever
So
feel.
proud.
So yeah,
So I can feel it. Like you're giving me that energy right now. So I'm like having some of it right now. But
yeah.
it's amazing. I feel you. What how is the way that you approach new accounts? Like how, because as you said, you're doing one of your tactics of business right now is going mouth to mouth, right?
Yeah, that's the best way.
Very tough.
Yeah,
It's super super tough to,
for sure.
because people are gonna be busy. You're never gonna have the beverage managers
Of
there.
course, of
And
course.
how do you actually what you're amazing with words, I have to
Oh,
say,
thank you so
and
much.
I know for sure that you can convince people to get whatever you want in a good way, of course.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, like, how easy or how complicated it has been for you to get people to know
Yeah,
your
I
brand.
mean, look, anytime you have a new brand in the market, people go, "Oh, I'm not sure," or they go, "This is not for me right now." But I think the biggest thing that we can ever do is, just try and taste as many people as we can. And my biggest thing when starting in this, I know that there's going to be a lot of no's, but as long as you're continuing going out there and speaking about the brand, word of mouth. That to me goes a long way. And Tito from Tito's Vodka started just like me.
Hmm.
He started 40 years ago, and he was going door to door in Texas, and everyone was telling him, "You're not gonna have a vodka from Texas. Like that doesn't happen. Vodka's from Russia, and vodka's from other places in the
Europe,
world,
yeah.
Europe." And I think he proved everyone wrong.
Ooh.
And he's the biggest vodka brand in the world, and he owns 100% of his brand. So, you know, he's not with a big conglomerate or a big business behind him. He's doing everything by himself. So, those kind of stories keep me going. I know that it's going to be hard in the beginning, but if it was hard, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Exactly,
So,
and it wouldn't be, you wouldn't feel as happy,
yeah,
because whenever you struggle, it's like whenever you're doing something hard that it takes time.
of course.
Once you look back after a couple of years, is when you see like those struggling moments became a happy memory.
For sure. And you see, I think you learn more about yourself during those moments, for sure. At least I did. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about, character building and, really, trying to get a brand to life
It's hard.
is hard. Yeah, but
I'm just thinking of the rejection part, like being rejected so many times and like having to face so many people that they're gonna, turn you down. That builds you more confidence. Like it's not,
yeah,
if you take it in the right way.
yeah, no,
As,
no, no.
as you said,
Yeah,
that you look problems as an opportunity of
for
growth.
sure. You have to.
Rejection is something that it makes you tougher. It makes you happier. It makes you to go even, try harder and try to see the next opportunity is gonna make you is gonna be the one.
Rejection is going to happen no matter what field you're in, no matter what you do. But that, at the end of the day, it's persistence. And if you continue to be persistent, you know, over time, those no's turn to yeses or maybes. So I'm fine with rejection.
That's perfect. How do you remember which was your first account? Who was the first person? Of course, it's gonna be about friends related and everything. but I'll bet like having the first experience of selling your product to someone. How do you feel? Do you remember who was it? When was it?
Yeah. So for me, this was a full circle moment. My first account that took it was Soho House, which was my where I came from as a barback, and it was very uh, heavy for me, to work at an industry where I was a barback. I was the guy running ice. Sometimes I was a busser. To then have my bottle of rum, excuse me, Symphony as a family, our bottle of rum behind the bar. I think I teared up that day. It was super emotional.
Of course.
And then for them to take it in all the Soho houses, and then in Florida and California it was super it was super surreal for me. Um, but that was really what got me going. And this was in the pandemic when nothing was
Nothing was
happening,
happening.
and so for them to take it was big. So that was like my first account or group of accounts that took it. Um, and this account is a very serious account in the city, and
Yeah, no.
so I'm super blessed. Yeah,
The fact that you build family that way who are able, non-related family, of
for
course,
sure,
who are able to support you, it says a lot about the company already.
for sure.
It says a lot how serious you are. It
Yeah,
says how good the product is
yeah.
too, because even though people they can do favors to friends, but it depends actually if the quality is right.
Yeah,
And
I'm big on family. Not to cut you off, I'm big on family. I'm big on creating an environment of people that sure we're not blood or whatever, but we're in this together. And these are people that I lean on all the time and ask them for advice. And you know, um, Rome wasn't built overnight, and Symphony to me will last 100 years or more, forever. I have this saying, "Symphony is forever," because I believe it. I believe that the ethos of the company, what we're building, is super unique, and in the rum community, it's hard to find. So, yeah, I really believe in family.
yeah, how are you projecting yourself? What do you think is gonna be the next step apart from the new product that you're coming up with by the end of the year? What how do you see Symphony in 5 and in 10 years?
Yeah.
In
So
best possible way, of
yeah.
course.
So I mean, I would love to open more states. So Texas is like one of the states that I'm really looking forward to. But I really want to be in the UK. I really want to be moving in the UK and Latin America. I think that's a no-brainer because Puerto Rico's right there.
Yeah.
So I would love to be in DR. I would love to be, in Colombia and hopefully Ecuador one day.
Hey.
Latin America to me is, I guess next in line. But yeah, I would love to be in more places. But I know it takes time. Initially when you're starting a business, you want your brand to be everywhere. But realistically, you have to build brick by brick, and some people forget about that process, brick by brick. And eventually you start building the foundation of the house, and you start building the house, and then how you want to make it. And so for us, we're building our foundation.
That's great. Uh, you were saying that in how many states are you in the U.S. right
New
now?
York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Florida, California, Puerto Rico. Yeah. So I'm in 5 states and Puerto
In
Rico.
Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
but Puerto Rico is still part of the U.S. That's amazing. Which place of from those 5 states and from Puerto Rico, which one do you think it had more support to you?
Well, New York is my home state. Um,
In terms
but
of people drinking it rum, I'll say Puerto Rico because it's a big
yeah,
on
Puerto
rum.
Rico's the rum capital of the world. So I mean, they're known to be the rum capital of the world. But now Puerto Rico's picking up. I mean, it's near and dear to my family. My dad being from Ponce, and I have a lot of family out there, and they're really like being big advocates for me.
Of course,
One day I would love for my brand to be hecho in Puerto Rico fully, but it takes time. That's another part of the
of the
the
process.
process of
Mhm.
building a brand. A lot of people go, it takes this and takes that, but people don't forget it takes time to build to that. So, but
It's not a thing that it happens in one day.
yeah, it's not
Even though deals happen in minutes,
for sure,
but it's just like you gotta persistently work on the brand, work
Of
on the
course,
accounts.
of course. And also be strategic on how you want your brand to be out there. So, I'm big on, doing activations, having people taste the brand, doing happy hours, staff trainings. I'm really big with, rolling up my sleeves and getting out there. Um, because one day I would love to be in this place, Madison Square Garden. That'll be another dream for me. So, um, hopefully, what you said, 5, 10 years. Hopefully, in 5 years, I'll be in there. I at least have my bottle in there. Um, but I understand that this is a process, and I understand that in 2.5 years, what we've accomplished is unreal.
It's unreal.
So I'm just, I'm on the ride. I'm on the ride. So,
You just have to wait for it.
yeah,
You just have to keep grinding.
and
About
I'm super thankful. I mean, God has blessed me. I'm big on family and the support system of people around me.
for people that are facing similar situations as you, who are deciding to go for the dreams, who are deciding to, just take the leap of faith and just be like, I don't care. I don't care whatever people say. I'm just gonna do my own things. What advices emotionally wise? Because I feel like emotion is something that not a lot of people think is important in terms of taking a decision. Because taking a decision, there's so many factors that are involved. But being constant is something about yourself putting into the situation. But emotional wise, there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of
Oh, for
moments where
sure.
you're gonna feel like nothing is working. What are those advices that make you tough to be resilient
Yeah, so
that you
for
could
me,
tell?
a lot of people shut me down early on. They were like, Jazz, don't go into rum. No one's in rum. I go, there's no celebrities in rum. I love that. I love the opportunity that people overlook rum. So, early on, a lot of close people were like, Jazz, I don't see it. I don't know Jazz. Like, I wish you all the best. I don't, hopefully in a year, whatever. And, I just had tunnel vision. And, you
I
know,
like that tunnel vision.
yeah, I just kind of blanked everybody out, and um, even very very close people were not believing, family members, and I think that is what sparks innovation when you are totally like
Going into
against
another yeah.
something, or people don't even think that this could be tangible. I mean, I pinch myself every day like, wow, I have a rum company. And I get how people can shy away from their dreams, but I'm big on, what's the worst that can happen? So you fail. All right, you tried it. I can't
uh,
I can't I can't live with myself at 60, 70 saying what if. I'm big on I'm gonna go for it. And if I fail, at least everyone knows I tried my hardest. And I tell anybody that is going for their dreams and whatever, I say, don't listen to the haters. Focus on you. Stick to the journey. Um, Believe in it forever. And Symphony's forever for me. So
Symphony is gonna be forever.
yeah,
Here in New York, what are the places where we can find you? I'm gonna ask you the places that we can find you, and then we're gonna go through your website because your
yeah.
website is amazing. I
Thank you
love it.
so much. Thank you. So I mean, the easiest thing, because there's so not. Thank you. I'm so blessed for this. Um, but if you go to symphonyno3rum.com and you go to the where to find, you can see wherever it is you're located at.
Even the restaurants that
Yeah, everywhere.
okay.
So we have a where to find. You can click it. It shows all the places that we're in. And I'm super humbled. John Diaz, who's a part of Symphony, he updates that. I want to say monthly, so they're fresh. Um, but I'm super blessed. Just to have places that people could go out and buy it, or even have it as a drink on a cocktail menu. So
I was going to ask you that you can even order it from the website, right,
yes,
to
you can
your
order
house.
from the website, or you can order from
They
Reserve
have
Bar.
mad jerseys.
Yeah.
Jazz is wearing it right now,
Yep,
and
I'm always repping.
hey, it's I love that shirt.
Thank you so
I have
much.
one of my own. I didn't bring it this time, but they have you have your merch and everything.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I just want to say, first and foremost, like anybody that's listening and wants to dream, I say dream big. Life is so short, and um, for me, I would never ever think to be in this position, and I'm super thankful. For all I know, Symphony ends up not making it, but at least I tried, and I live with that. And I have this thing like I bet a lot. Like I love casinos, and I'm playing with house money. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I hit on 16 on blackjack, which you're not supposed to really hit, and I doubled down, and now I'm playing with house money, and Symphony has been the best bet so far in my life.
That's amazing. I'm very, very happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I really look forward for you to success,
Thank you.
to have everything that you want, because you're honest. You're passionate about it, and every time when I see you that you're working, or I see your Instagram post, that I'm gonna leave your Instagram so they can follow you and follow the journey
you.
of Symphony. It's just that you are so passionate to not just represent alcohol. You're representing class, you're representing art. More than that, because you're literally, your Instagram is just about art and how Symphony can help you to boost that.
Thank you so much.
It's really nice. It's another phase of just drinking. It's actually a culture. It's actually an identity that you're building.
That's exactly what it is.
And if I can see it, imagine all the people who are actually loving Symphony as well. It's just that that's your job. Keep representing, keep doing what you're doing. Great, because so far, look at you. Like, you're amazing. I'm very grateful for have the pleasure of talking to you, because
Likewise.
every time that I'm able to speak to this guy about businesses or anything related to it, he's so wise. Like, you have so much knowledge, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
There's something that we do here in the podcast, and whenever we have a person coming to the program, the last person before they leave a question. And the question that they ask is, what are you feeling about New York? What are the emotions that New York gives it to you?
New York is my heart, my hustle, my purpose. New York is all of that. It's my home. And so New York to me is everything that I represent in myself. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and New York is part of my heart. So, yeah.
Perfect. I think we're gonna wrap this up. I think this has been a very intense, very nice, very incredible experience of knowing Symphony, our own brand, something that nobody ever really talks, that is alcohol. And it's just great. I'm very happy for this, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
I'm gonna ask you to leave a question for the next person that comes to the program. But again, thank you.
Of course. Amazing.